Welcome! Today we're going to learn about nouns. And what you're going to be able to do is you are going to be able to identify what a noun is and give an example of a noun by going through different worksheets and a game successfully. So, the materials you need for this lesson are pre-written sentences with different nouns in them. You need cutouts, nuts about nouns, where it has a category for the person, thing, place, and animal. You need words that are nouns, so the children will be able to categorize them. And you need a nuts about nouns sheet where they will be able to write the nouns that they find all around the classroom. So the first thing we have to learn is what is a noun. But first, we need to know what is not a noun. And so we know that verbs are action words. Like, for example, when you go running, it's an action verb. You're doing something, or you go hiking, or you go biking, swimming. Pretty much any word with an ing ending is a verb. And then we have adjectives, and adjectives describe the object or describes a noun. And so a good adjective would be something is blue, or something's fantastic, or something is large, small, hefty. And so that would be an adjective. Now a noun is a word that is a person, place, thing, or an animal. And so there's a difference between proper nouns and normal nouns, but we'll just stick with the basic nouns. And so a place would be like school, or a person would be the woman, or the baby, or the man. And then a thing could be like keys, or a book. And then an animal could be like a whale, a dog, a cat, stuff like that. And so now that we know that, what you do is you take the nuts about nouns cutouts and you place them on the table, and you're going to take your words and you're going to lay them out all over the table, and you're going to categorize them into either if they're a person, place, thing, or an animal. And so you would take, for example, the word bear, and where would you put that? If you were thinking animal, you're right. Or if you had Idaho Falls, where would you put that? If you said a place, you'd be correct. And so once you categorize all of the person, places, things, and animals, you double check your answers and make sure that everything is a noun in its proper category. And then you give the children the sentences, the students, and you have them read through the sentences and underline each noun that they see. And then once they've done that, you have them label each noun, whether if it's a person, place, thing, or an animal. And so, for example, one of the sentences that's on here that you could use is, the children were playing outside with wands, pretending to be in Harry Potter. So the nouns in that sentence would be children, outside, wands, Harry Potter. And so children you would label as, if you said people or person, you're correct. Outside would be the place, wands would be a thing, and Harry Potter would be a person. And so, easy as pie. And then once you have written out all those sentences, you give each student a piece of paper and you tell them to go around the classroom and find as many nouns as possible. And so if they look around, they can look on the map if you have a map in there, and they would be able to write down places like Idaho, Florida, Georgia, all the different states. And yeah, and if they went around, they can have their classmates on there as people, and just on and on and on. And then for an assessment or independent practice, you would have them go home and find nouns around their house and be able to categorize them and be able to explain what it is to their parents. So that's it about nouns.